Okay guys, I hope you're ready for tip number 4. Tip number 4 is super simple, super straightforward, but critical. It's one word. It's called patience. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, I really wish all the Israelis would be patient enough to hear me speak. I know many of my students, for example, are very excited to have a teacher who's patient, who's able to listen to them speaking slowly. I get it, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being patient with yourself, okay? And let me explain what that means. So one place where that comes into play is about pace. A lot of times we sort of come to Israel and we want to have this fantasy of learning Hebrew, immersion style. After 1 year, I'm supposed to be fluent. And in the meantime, everything's supposed to go quickly. And it's so important to have realistic expectations, okay? So important. So one thing I want to tell you is, assuming that you're not in the army, there's basically no other immersive experience that will improve your Hebrew as quickly as we have in our fantasy of I moved to a new country and I moved to Spain, and after 1 year I spoke Spanish fluently. Why is that? Because Israelis have really good English, and it's so difficult to find yourself in an environment where you're truly immersed. Your friends are probably Anglos, or some of them are and some of them aren't. If you go to the store or to the doctor, often they'll also speak with you sometimes in English. And at work, it's really hard to start doing professional meetings in Hebrew when their English may be better than your Hebrew. And because of that, we have to really lower our expectations. Our immersion, even if it's in a new country, on one hand, we're going to be stressed out and panicking and confused because the bus driver didn't hear me. But on the other hand, my coworkers at work aren't really giving me the chance to speak Hebrew the way I would need to in order to improve. So that's why we need to lower our expectations. And the other thing that we need to understand is that Hebrew is super different from any other language you've learned, unless you've learned Arabic. And because of that, even if you've learned Spanish and German and Russian and I don't know, all these other languages relatively quickly, especially if not, but either way, Hebrew is going to take you much longer. It's so different from English. It works differently on our brain, and our brain needs a long time to get used to the different sounds and the different grammatical systems that are happening here. I cannot emphasize that enough. So because of those things, it's important to be patient with ourselves regarding our level and our pace. One place where this plays out a lot is I have many students saying to me, I think I have okay Hebrew, or I thought I had okay Hebrew, but then I went to a Shabbat meal with Israelis and I didn't understand anything. So we sort of have to be aware of what's high level, what's middle level, what's basic level. And I want to tell you that the highest level, even my most advanced students, have trouble with Shabbat meals with Israelis or meetings at work or anything with groups. Okay, Israelis are aggressive, they interrupt each other, they're all speaking at the same time, they're speaking very quickly. And it's going to be hard in that setting. So don't judge yourself based on that. The other thing you don't want to judge yourself based on is niche vocabulary areas, like going to the bank or going to the doctor. That's very, very niche vocabulary that you only need once every 6 months or a year when you go. But it's not the day-to-day Hebrew. Okay, I want you to notice that. The day-to-day Hebrew is more like telling a story, verbs, nouns, adjectives. It's not like mortgage or dehydrated or even, I don't know, stomach ache, okay? So prescription. So there are words that are more bureaucratic, more niche, and there are words that are more day-to-day. And you want to judge your level based on the frequency of how often these words are going to appear in your life. Of course, if you're working as a doctor or if you're working as a banker, then these niche words are super important to you and you should spend the extra time learning them. But if not, then you might want to focus on the more frequent day-to-day vocabulary. That's regarding pace. And the other thing regarding patience is important to expect of yourself and of others is that it's okay to have the conversation and to speak more slowly. As you may have noticed, I also speak quickly, especially when I want to give you guys a lot of content in a short video. However, when you're having a regular social interaction, it's not such a big deal if you lower the pace a little bit. Speak a little bit slower. If they said something and they were speaking really, really quickly, one of the things that will really improve your confidence is giving yourself permission to say, "What? Can you please say that again slowly? I'm still learning Hebrew." as many times as you need until you understand, because many times you actually know the words they're saying, but they're just saying it too quickly, and you don't have a chance to identify and catch what are the words. So let's practice that sentence, okay? סליחה, אפשר בבקשה עוד פעם קצת יותר לאט? אני עדיין לומד or לומדת עברית. Okay, learn that sentence. It'll help you be more patient with yourself, and it will help them be more patient with you. See you soon.